What happens when a platform that depends on a certain piece of art so much suddenly loses it? Well, that's the problem that TikTok seems to be facing now, as millions of videos that had certain songs are now, well, silent. Music and TikTok. These are two things that anyone familiar with them would say have been synonymous for a couple of years now. You'd go as far as to say that they have depended on each other. You want your video to trend on the platform? Get a trending soundtrack to go with it. And a lot of times, it's usually a classic, current, or upcoming artist that gets to benefit from this. This has been especially evident since the explosion of TikTok in 2020, when the video sharing platform exploded in popularity worldwide, with billions of users flocking to it. But it seems like these two are in a serious battle after Universal Music Group, one of the world's biggest music companies, decided to call timeout on TikTok by pulling out a huge catalog of tracks released by hundreds of its major artists. And by huge, I mean every sense of that word. We are talking artists like Rihanna, Billie Eilish, Drake, Taylor Swift, Adele, Post Malone, and many, many more. So you can just imagine how many songs have been pulled out after what seems to have been heated negotiations gone wrong between TikTok and UMG. Universal Music made sure to express its disappointment through an open letter posted on the company's website, explaining why the disagreement happened while citing its goals as a music company to help artists and songwriters attain their greatest creative and commercial potential. In the letter, UMG confirmed the expiration of its previous deal with the platform on 31st of January 2024, and the main reasons why contract renewal discussions have failed so far. Now, the main issue was appropriate compensation for its artists and songwriters, an issue that always seems to be burning between music firms and streaming platforms, not just UMG and TikTok. We have seen platforms like YouTube and Spotify have massive fights with music companies in fights that last for months. YouTube's fight with Warner Music Group between 2008 and 2009 would probably be the most famous brawl, which had hundreds of music videos pulled from the streaming platform for several months. According to UMG, TikTok's proposal included compensation figures that were just a fraction of what the previous deal entailed. And from the company's perspective, you can definitely understand why that would be disappointing. The negotiations also involved the platform's use of AI, something that UMG seems to have been concerned about, as it has allowed an influx of digitally altered versions of its artists' songs, therefore diluting the royalty pool for the artists who should be earning from the original tracks. For now, it seems like a huge boiling pot of mess, as millions of videos on TikTok have now been left mute, an issue that could end up affecting creators on the platform, as well as artists signed to the various labels owned by Universal Music. As it stands, it's a massive standoff that might end as soon as tomorrow or last for as long as a year. What is quite apparent though is that TikTok seems to have the upper hand, and here's why I think so. The platform still has existing deals with many other music companies like Sony and Warner Music, who own rights to thousands of other artists. Secondly, artists signed to Universal may end up making their opinions heard to their labels if they feel that their pockets are getting hurt from this massive fight. But from the official communication, it is very clear that UMG wants the best conditions possible and is willing to take all the time needed until TikTok surrenders to its demands. UMG's concerns are very real and valid enough, but the main question is, who gets to blink first?